From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
I hate it much, but it's yours. All of this, I hate it much, but it's yours.
It's Friday, August 30th, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios, on the ones and twos, our illustrious brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
In Nashville, Tennessee, Tyler Huckabee.
Hey, everybody.
And just on the road, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents.
Recording from your home today, which is not the office you've had at the church, which is now moving to your awesome new office.
Yes.
Very
Next
exciting
time we record, I think you'll see me there. I think that it'll be from the new office. We move on Tuesday, right after Labor Day.
Very exciting times. Tuesday here in Florida, we will be without power sitting through a hurricane. So
the whole state? Oh, without the hurricane. I was like, did they tell you that?
It's headed like right for you guys right now.
Are you not leaving, Cameron?
You're the bullseye.
Yeah, no. Why would we leave? Go where? To Georgia? No, thanks.
We're
good.
Hey, Georgia's great. I grew up there.
Orders,
Cameron,
right?
what's this hurricane, this particular hurricane's name?
Doria or Dorian or something like that?
I think Dorian, yeah.
Dorian. That one,
An interesting one.
yeah. See, like when the hurricane's name is something like Carol or hurricane like Susan or hurricane like Rick, they don't really strike much fear in my heart. Dorian sounds like a stalker or something very terrifying. I would heed the warning.
I totally disagree. I feel like Dorian wears gloves. Like wears gloves casually at parties.
Hey,
Are you
Annie,
serious?
you know
He's
who
like
also wears gloves? Assassins. People that challenge
Freddy
you
Krueger.
people who challenge you
gloves?
to a duel by slowly removing one of the gloves finger by finger, then
That's who I
slapping
feel like
you.
Dorian is.
I don't want to tango with Dorian. He slaps people across the
No
face
way.
with gloves.
I mean,
If
sure.
you're watching a horror movie and a little kid shows up named Dorian, you're like, that kid's going to kill somebody.
Yeah, I'm certainly not downplaying the hurricane. I just think that name doesn't invoke fear. It makes me feel like I'm going to hear a harpsichord play in the background.
So you're in your mind, Dorian is like maybe a butler for an old timey.
Dorian's like 1890s. Yeah, for sure.
Like a Downton Abbey situation.
Yes.
Your
Precisely.
strategy and how to prepare for a hurricane is determined based on the scariness of the name of said hurricane. If it sounds like a weak hurricane, bring it on.
Yeah, that's
Right.
why.
But if
Like
it
I wouldn't tango with a hurricane named Hank because
Or
anyone
Titus.
named Hank is
Yeah.
tough. Like guys named Hank have been in like bar scuffles and things like that. Stay away from Hurricane Hanks. You know.
And Hurricane Titus. Or
Yeah, for
hurricane,
sure.
Yeah.
Hank is Hank's a troublemaker.
Yeah. Hank
Yeah.
Hank was born into trouble with that name. If you're a Hank, exactly. Hank's always the bully. He's always the guy that, he got kicked off the football team. That's Hank. You know, tango with Hank.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Isn't there a study, wasn't it statistically proven that people are more likely to flee hurricanes with male names than female names, regardless of the rating that they get? I think I've seen this.
wow.
I think I've seen
Really?
this, but I'm
Sexist.
doing the thing where I don't like to do, where it's like, I think I read somewhere, but I think I can find it. I'll come back. Return to me shortly. I'll see if I can find it.
So this is real talk, though. Florida hurricanes, whatever. I mean, it
just rains a lot.
They happen. They happen. We're inland here in Central Florida. Maybe some trees will go down, take out power for a day or two, but it's no big deal. We're okay. Don't worry about us. We're fine. The coastal cities are the ones that get pounded. We're
Sure.
inland. We're okay.
You'll just get a lot of rain and no electricity, and you just have to have your snacks ready.
Yeah.
Well, so my old neighborhood where I lived, when hurricanes would come, parts of the city would lose power. I never once lost power. I just sat there and watched Netflix all night. And it was because the neighborhood I was in had buried power lines. And so there was nothing to knock out, so we were fine.
Of course. Why didn't
And-
everybody in Florida bury their power lines? That's brilliant.
Exactly. And so the neighborhood I'm in now, though, is an older neighborhood. And sure enough, there's power lines and big old trees. And I'm expecting that we'll lose power, at least for part of it. But so here's the real talk. Monday, normally we record Tuesday's episode on Monday. Monday's Labor Day. So we're not recording. We're going to record on Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning is when Central Florida is getting hit with a hurricane. So there might not be a podcast on Tuesday, everybody.
Oh,
but
for sure there's going to be a podcast. You're just not going to be on it.
There you go. There you go.
Time with me
though.
and Andy and Jesse.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
We're going to
unedited.
really talk about
It's
this
going to be unedited and raw, and I'm not even sure that our vocal tracks will be on the same channel. This might be one of those things where we each of us three independently upload vocal tracks to iTunes and just let the listeners figure it out. It's like it's like that Flamey Lips
play
album
them all
that
at the
came
same
out like
time.
15 years ago, where like each instrument was on a different CD and you had to play it in like different speakers. It's going to be like that. It's going to be very complicated and very high-minded because I'm not going to spend my weekend trying to learn Pro Tools or whatever. I don't think that would come
It's
together
a
very
holiday
successful.
weekend for us. We don't really care. So best of luck to whatever comes out on Tuesday, if anything comes out on Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying. For real. I can't think other than we used to skip the week of Christmas, right before the year-end extravaganza.
Yeah.
We used to skip the week of Christmas, but I cannot think of the last time we missed an episode. But we might on Tuesday. So who knows?
I'm telling you, I've got this. Leave it to me.
And you know what? Depending on if we're all killed, we may never have another episode
Oh
again.
my gosh, I
this could
hate
be
when
the
you
last,
do that.
This could be the last
it.
podcast.
This is one of those carpe diem moments. Like, leave it all on the table. This
Say
is the
it
last
now.
podcast
Say it
Make it
now.
the best one.
we ever did.
No holds barred.
No regrets at the end
Yeah.
of this podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. I'm glad you said that because I got some things.
I got
a few things to get off my chest. I don't want to. I'm not going to bring them out now, but I'm going to drop them at 10-minute intervals throughout this podcast. So just be ready.
You know what?
They're going to be context free.
The thought that I just said did not occur to me until it came out of my mouth. That there is a sliver of a chance that this is the last podcast we ever do because we all die. Okay. Or at least the Orlando staff.
This is the worst.
But here's the
I
deal.
don't like
Going
this.
great.
Yeah, I
Here's
don't
the deal.
like this.
Here's the deal. If this was planned to be the final episode of the Realm podcast, this is the guest I would book today. I would
there we
book
go.
our guest today.
I like that.
Who is it?
Bob Goff is joining us
for
later
sure.
on the
Oh,
show
yeah.
today.
Oh yeah.
Bob Goff, literally one of my heroes.
Live every podcast like it's your last. That's why I will be shouting things that I've wanted to say for years today.
You'll probably
people.
sing Ancient of Days a few times just to make the Twitter people happy.
I will never stop. I've seen the feedback, and I never plan on stopping. So
The only negative feedback that we have gotten about the fact that you keep coming back to singing Ancient of Days is from Eddie Kaufholz. That's the only person.
the
who
only
said
one
anything
that's
snide
negative
about
is
it.
jealous that he didn't come up with a bit, and I apologize for nothing. I doubled down. And I will continue to double down. I'm not going to just break into it, but when the moment presents itself, I will
Isn't
be
it
singing.
more love that you do, not Ancient of Days?
I do both. I do any song that it's just
song
the
in the
men and
round.
just the ladies. More love. See, it works every time. It works every single time. And that's why I won't stop. And I hope Eddie hears this, and I hope he's mad that he's like, darn it, he's doing it again. That should have been my bet.
Oh man! Well, stay tuned for our conversation with Bob Goff. It's a lot of fun. He's doing a lot of stuff to help people chase their dreams. We talk about that, and then we went no holds barred, and I let Twitter interview him.
Oh, wow.
And so,
wow.
before I went on with Bob, I said, "Hey, if you could ask Bob Goff anything, what would it be?" I never do that. I just wanted to see what people would say, and some really good questions came back, and so I just lobbed them to him. We had fun with it. So stay tuned for that.
All right.
They couldn't call him themselves. Just take out their phones and dial him
They
up.
can. If there's any author you can call, it's Bob Goff.
That
Have
is
these cameras you go between.
that is absolutely true.
Does he answer and return calls though?
Constantly.
Yes.
He answers constantly.
I've told this, like literally, I've been in the White House with him and he answers his phone. And I'm like pulling him aside, like, Bob, tell me for real. There's the Love Does public phone, and then there's the friends and family phone, right?
Yeah.
You got two phones in your pocket. No. He has
Nope.
one phone, one phone number. You want to call Bob Goff? It's in the book. It's on his website. You can just call Bob Goff. Go for it. Do your own podcast. Who cares? Don't even listen. I mean, apparently we're going away.
Yeah. We might need you to actually record one and upload it Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is amazing. I mean, what do y'all think about that phone number thing? Have we talked about this before?
What?
That he just puts his phone number in the book and he answers all the time. It's just amazing to me.
It's unreal. He is the master of the 2-minute phone call. Like,
yes.
You feel heard, you feel connected, and he gets off the phone and you didn't even know what happened and you're just happy to have had that moment with him. He is the master of connection and not prolonging it. I mean, he's like on to the next. It's great.
Yeah.
He's really good.
It is amazing. He makes everyone feel heard and cared for, and it's amazing.
I want him to be on like a one-on-one, man-to-man showdown with him and like the best telemarketer. That's like, because those people are trained to keep you on, and trained to get through their little script. He's trained to get off. And the thing is, both of them, the telemarketer and Bob, are very cordial. They're not going to be rude to each other. The telemarketer, it's against their job to be rude. Bob, it's not in his nature. So I want to get the best telemarketer. Next time I get calls from telemarketers, my number ended up on a list or something somehow. I want to
all of ours did. It's horrible.
I'm going to answer them all. I'm going to find the best one and be like, hey, listen, I want you to call this number. I'm going to give them Bob's and I'm going to say, this is going to be this is the matchup of a lifetime right now. And I want to see what Bob's strategy is. I'm going to need the telemarketer to record the conversation, upload it for Tuesday's podcast, because we got to see how these guys, it's like two prize fighters in the ring, just going at it, just blocking every blow. I can't wait to see it, guys. Download the show on Tuesday, because that's what it's going to be.
All right, moving the show along. Stay tuned. Up next, it's the Hot List.
I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord.
You're listening to Elevation Worship. The song is Sea of Victory, their new single from their new 5-song EP, At Midnight, which released today. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Jacob Ogawa with You and I. Okay, it's time for...
It's the hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
You should do a fall version of that. Sizzling makes me think of summer grills and hot. And
Oh yeah, can we do something that's kind of bonfire-y, Chandler?
Like a tea kettle.
It's crackling.
Oh, it's crackling. That's it.
There you go.
All right.
Well,
That was
and
some real
the
group
vibe
thing.
is like yacht rocky, outdoor, kind of chilling on the boat type of thing. Now we're talking hot, but it's going to be hot apple cider and hot latte.
Yeah, it's
More like a
piping
Christmas
hot.
Carol
And
or
it's just like yeah. Chandler, I need you to sound like steam.
No,
somehow.
more
Can
like
you do that?
Bon Iver. More like Bon Iver, like fall.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a 2005 Bon Iver,
Okay.
like a little bit of guitar,
Okay.
a little bit like youth pastor at around the campfire
Got it.
vibes.
No, don't do 2005. Do 2011 Bon Iver. That's the hit. That feel. Yeah.
I can't make you love me.
Wow, yeah.
Just like that, right? Just like that. Nailed it. Nailed
do it.
Nailed it.
Chandler, you know what? You just do your job. We'll do our job. Sorry, buddy.
All the men and all the Bon Ivers.
All the body.
All right. Coming in at number 5 this week on the hot list, Chad and Julia Veach, pastors of Zoe Church out in LA. They told Kourtney Kardashian how to share her faith with her children this week. The reality
Why do we
TV
know this?
The reality TV star recently hosted the Zoe Church founders on her new YouTube series called The Poosh Conversations. Poosh, Poosh. And the topic that she talked to them about was how to share your faith. So she explained that growing up, she heard a lot of Bible stories in her home. She said, we grew up always hearing Bible stories. My dad already read us Bible stories, and we would talk about it in the car. We would listen to Bible songs. We went to Sunday school, not every Sunday, but a lot. So I just wonder if there's something you guys do or that's really important to you, like routines or things that you do with your own family that could be helpful. They ended praying and having a meal together, and here's a clip of their conversation.
Court, one of my favorite scriptures about kids, though, is in Proverbs when it says, "Raise up a child or train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they're older, they won't depart from it." So it's like if you train them up, raise them up. But think about it, you're still walking out the truths that your dad taught you when you were a kid.
Yeah.
So it's when
So
they're
true.
impressionable.
Because it's in there.
And that you put all that in there, you train them. Like the fact that, like, even like tithing, the fact that you girls tithe that's wild.
Yeah.
But you didn't get that when you were 30.
Right. We were taught it
3.
super young. Yeah.
So you train up kids. Now it's training. Because when they're older, they're going to live by the right values.
Yeah.
You know.
So I don't watch the poosh conversations.
Yeah, this is my
Surprising.
first. This is my first push.
New to me.
Yeah, I'm new. I'm new poosh. I'm new poosh.
Rookie push. Rookie push. Newbie to push.
So
I'm a new push. New push here.
my push question is, Chad just said, just in passing, it's amazing that y'all tithe, that you girls tithe, So my question is that something that was said on the push? Or is that something that Chad, the pastor, knows because he gets the check and he
I
just
see.
outed her?
Oh, like he keeps a list of who's tithing and who's not. He's aware that Kourtney. He knows that Kourtney.
I'm going to assume that's like an on-off push conversation. Because
I watched the entire
thinking.
video and they did not talk about tithing on the push.
But I also know, like, in Annie, I'd be interested what your take is on this because, working in like the church world, like my pastors growing up, they made it a point not to look at who tithed and who didn't. Like even when everything moved to like online or like offering envelopes, like the senior pastor would never look at who's tithing and who's giving because they didn't even want that like on a subconscious level to affect, kind of their perception of people. Because it's not a business. These aren't customers. You know what I mean? This is a community. Annie, do you agree or disagree? I can't tell by reading your face.
I for sure have not thought about this enough to say an opinion on a public platform.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
I am refraining.
I admire that humility.
She's like,
That's
I
very
am
cool.
hired by knowledgeable pastors and unknowledgeable pastors. I'm not going to offend any of the people who want to bring speaker Annie F. Downs to your church.
No.
this
I'm
Sunday.
not thinking one time about where I'm going because I'm not traveling this fall. I am purely saying that for the however many people listen to this, if I say an opinion about what I think about whether senior pastors should know about money, it is an opinion I formed in the last 12 seconds, and I try to keep those to myself.
Well, this is the last podcast, so just wait.
to be fair,
You're not going to have a
I
chance
should
to
just go
formulate
for
it.
it because this is the one they're going to put on repeat for the rest of forever.
Live every day like it's your last.
Yeah,
Although
exactly.
I do want to and if you watch this video, you'll see this. I think it's important. This is key context. I don't know if this is true of every Poosh video. I have only watched one. But in this particular Poosh video, the Veaches and Kourtney are making what appears to be guacamole together. They're cutting up avocados and
Are they making
some
guac
garlic
together?
and something. They're making guac in
Pooshy.
somebody's kitchen. I don't know if it's the Veaches or if it's Kourtney's, but they're making guac together. And at one point, Kourtney finishes chopping up some garlic and she puts it in her hand and she says, "What do I do with this?" And and Julia Veach says, "Well, you put it in the bowl." And it was very brief, but it did raise a lot of questions that I have about like, well, what were the other options? Like, what was
what
going through
else
her
did you think was
mind?
gonna
Like,
happen?
What would you do with a
garlic.
handful of garlic while making guacamole?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, those are just that. We put those aside for now.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the garlic.
I do have very strong opinions on guacamole and tithing, so I can go there on either of those things. But
All right, coming in number 4, rapper Tobe Nwigwe performed an incredible Tiny Desk concert this week. So faith plays a big part in the Houston rapper's music. As NPR says, Tobe's mindful words are like a life hack for those seeking guidance. Well, last year, he collaborated with our friend Propaganda and Liz Vice for a track called Fallen, which is produced by our friend Derek Minor. So the dude's kind of hooked in with our world of hip hop. His blend of spirituality and unique rapping styles has drawn rave reviews from the likes of Jill Scott, Dave Chappelle, Erykah Badu. It has drawn more than 350,000 fans on Instagram. Tobe recently explained to Texas Monthly, you have to understand, we don't get any radio play. Our biggest market is all on Instagram. We're not signed to a label. We don't have a booking agent. We don't have anything. We're just 100% independent. This is all in-house. And he ended up on NPR doing a Tiny Desk concert.
Look, off the bat I attack, word to Bruce Wayne. I spit crack and I stay strapped. Don't need a shoestring, but don't confuse things. The good shepherd gave me a new frame of mind so you can see that I'm different. That's word to 2 Chainz. Ooh, but I'm still the same OG. I stay low key with more sauce than AO lit. I play gold lit when blessings start to rain on me and catch a lot of chips and guac a lit. Oh.
Jesse, you hit me up about this guy after the Tiny Desk concert. You sent me this video. I don't think I've seen you this excited about a new artist we've found in this year, probably.
Well, Jesse hasn't been excited since Weezer. So
Weezer, ever since the Blue album in '96, it's been kind of a dry spell. No, I watched the concert. I saw it being passed around, so I was like, oh, I'll check it out. And I expect, a lot of people that hear it for the first time was super impressed, especially
it's great.
Because I hadn't heard of this guy before. And, his style, which is, as you can hear, from the instrumentation on that clip, is kind of jazzy, but his lyricism was awesome. Like his delivery was killer. He had like a unique thing going. And he also had like some really incredible background singers too. Like it was a cool vibe.
He had a full band. They took over the whole room. They weren't behind the Tiny Desk. It was like the whole cubicle.
It was a giant cubicle. Yeah.
Whenever you talk to people about Tiny Desk concert, it's always like it's well named. It's a very tiny room. It's a little desk, and they cram the NPR staff in there to like sit around. It sounds like it would be very awkward, and I think people have a good time there. But everything
it's
about
for sure awkward. Don't you hear how they clap?
Desk,
every time they're clapping, you're like, this is weird for everyone.
It's good. Yeah. It's good video content, but I don't think it would be a fun experience to actually play there or watch.
I'd like to stay in my exact role that I've had for every Tiny Desk concert, which is on this side of the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The most awkward thing for me with an artist is when like we're with an artist one-on-one and they'll be like, hey, I have some tracks from my new album. You want to hear them? I'm like, yeah, of course I want to hear them. And then they put them on and they're looking at you listen to the music.
Yeah, it's very awkward.
And it's like,
because you don't know where to look.
Do I look him in the eye? Do I look down? Oh yeah, I'm just like meditating on it. What do you do? What do you do with your eyes? I don't know. It's awful. Don't do that if you're an artist.
Yeah.
Just send me a link.
Coming in number 3 this week, Netflix released a teaser for the long rumored Breaking Bad movie. It's happening. It's called El Camino, and it picks up where the series left off. Now, here's a spoiler if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, but it picks up where the series left off with Jesse Pinkman on the run from the law after being forced to cook meth by an outlaw biker gang. That's where it picks up. It releases on October 11th on Netflix. The clip shows Jesse's old friend Skinny Pete being questioned by authorities, but refusing to help them because of what Jesse has already suffered. Here's part of the clip.
I have no idea where he is. Don't know where he's headed either. North, south, west, east, Mexico, the moon. I don't have a clue. But yo, even if I did, who wouldn't tell you? Because I've been watching the news, same as everybody else. I seen that little cage of his they kept him in. I heard about what all they did to him to make sure he kept cooking. So sorry. I don't know what to tell you. No way I'm helping you people put Jesse Pinkman back inside a cage.
Okay, I'm excited for the movie, and I'm excited that it's coming to Netflix, so we can just fire it up one night. Like, it doesn't feel like a movie that I'd like. I don't know if I'd see it in theater or not, but I want to talk about the clip for 1 second because it's a very brief teaser. There's not a lot going on. But to me, when I watch it, it sounded like a monologue someone does when they're like auditioning for a play. It's like, okay, I will be doing Skinny Pete, interrogated by the FBI on the search for Jesse Pinkman. And the accent. I don't care north, south, east, or west. I saw the cage you kept him in. You think I'm going to help you find Jesse Pinkman? And scene. Do I got the part? Do I got the role?
No, man, you should go. You should have been in there.
And
Jesse.
scene.
You should
And
have been in the
scene.
room.
Yeah. my favorite, speaking of Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about. You're going to talk about the
Mr.
David
Show.
Cross. Oh, yeah. Really
So Bob Odenkirk, who's Saul Goodman on both Better Call Saul and in Breaking Bad, Jimmy McGill, they have a very famous, him and David Cross, when they were doing Mr. Show, had a very famous sketch where David Cross was portraying a guy doing like a monologue to audition for a play. And he goes up and he's like, before I get started, do you mind if I just get a sip of water? I see you have a water bottle right there. And, he's like talking to the little panel that's judging him. And they're like, oh, sure, here, have it. And he's like, no, that's part of the scene. Don't react to me. He's like, all right, let me begin again. He's like, but seriously, I'm going to need a sip of water. And they were just staring at him. He goes, I'm parched and I can't go on if I at least get one sip. If you don't give me a sip, we're not doing the scene. And they're like, fine, just have a sip. And he's like, no, that's part of the scene. He's like, will you please just let me finish the scene? I've been rehearsing. And so eventually, like all Mr. Show sketches, it just keeps going until it's absurd. Where he's like, you looking at me all smugly with your blue necktie. And he's describing what the people wear. And he's like, not even offering me a sip of water. And they're like, fine, just take it. Take the water. And he's like, no, I was almost done. And scene. Okay, did I get the part?
And then
That's my commentary.
Out. He storms out and is like, whatever, forget you guys. And they're like, what happened there? And then he comes back in like, and scene.
Anyway, I have nothing to say about El Camino. Just that all I thought about during the Skinny Pete was like, this is a monologue that people will do rehearsing for community plays.
It felt to me like Disney Plus made their big announcement. They finally revealed, they opened their Twitter accounts and finally showed trailers of their big new Star Wars series.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that's all the internet was talking about was chicken sandwiches and the Disney Plus stuff. And then it's like you just felt like Netflix going, we're still here, and they had to rush a trailer out. You know what I mean? Like that's what, it's like, no, put out the Breaking Bad trailer. Like just to try and like step on top.
I do know a lot of people are having big talks about leaving Netflix for Disney Plus.
I know.
It's cheaper.
For the
this
same price.
This is one of the things I just don't care enough about. And I need one of y'all who really cares just to come to my house and cancel whatever I don't need and buy whatever I need to. I just don't care enough. I need one of y'all who really cares to come fix my technology.
We've talked here and there about doing like some sort of in the magazine, like here's the streaming services you need. And I think we've always punted on it because it's like, this feels way more like a Wired piece than a relevant. We can't find it's not really breaking intersection faith and culture, but I would like somebody out there to tell me like if you like these kind of shows. I'll bring the faith part,
helping Annie F. Downs know what kind of streaming services she needs. That's what you
terrific.
Can do.
Oh yeah, that's great content.
She needs help. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either, Annie. But I would love to help you figure it out.
But you're also moving over to the other side of the ocean, so you got to sort it.
I don't know what we're going to have over there.
I don't know what they have over there.
I don't know what's available.
They even have television in France? I don't know.
Netflix?
It's all Jerry Lewis movies. They're still all they watch is Jerry Lewis movies.
All right, coming in number 2 this week, Danny McBride opened up to Dax Shepard about how the church hurt his family this week. Danny's one of the stars of the Righteous Gemstones, the off-color HBO comedy that follows the lives of a wealthy, powerful family of televangelists as their grift gets out of control, kind of. Well, Danny McBride went on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast this week to talk a little about the show, and the subject of his own experience in the church came up. So he says he was raised Christian, but harbors a lot of hurt feelings about the way the church treated his mother after her husband left her. Here's the clip.
Is it safe for me to assume you're not a practitioner of any religion?
Our adventure with religion was we went hardcore. I mean, we were there all the time. My parents were so involved in it. And then my parents got divorced when I was in 6th grade, and my dad kind of ran out on us. And suddenly it was like, here's my mom who works in a department store at the mall. She's got 2 kids. We're living in an apartment, and you're thinking like, maybe this church that we've donated all this time to will be supportive. And instead, the people there like basically like turned their back on my mom. They shamed her for getting a divorce. And so, I was little. I think I was in 6th grade when this happened. But I can remember like seeing my mom and like knowing how much the church meant to her. And now she just didn't even feel like she could enter the church. And so for a few months, she still would drop me and my sister off at church on Sundays to go. And we did it. And then after a few months, it was kind of like, what are we doing? Like, why are we going to this place every Sunday? Like, it's not, it's done.
It's a interesting conversation. You should check it out. McBride also said he understands why some Christians feel upset about their portrayals in Hollywood. And he said he hopes his new show is different. He said, I think they make the mistake of like, they make a joke out of what people believe in. I feel that's kind of obnoxious. That would piss me off if I didn't understand where I came from or what I believe. I think with this show, we're not trying to say anything about what you believe and what you shouldn't believe in. We're not trying to comment on the Bible. We're commenting on these hypocrites who are basically fronting this operation and basing all their values on these morals and these ideals, but then not adhering to any of them themselves. So episode 2 of Righteous Gemstones aired last week, and I finally watched it, and it's not as good as the first one, just FYI.
I've only watched the pilot so far, I think.
The pilot's great. Episode 2.
Enjoyed the pilot. Yeah, all right. All right.
Oh, I liked episode 2 way more than the pilot.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, another hot take.
Speaking of like,
do you like this?
over there from Chandler?
Chandler, you grew up in, with a familiarity with the world that it's lampooning.
Yeah. I thought it was off. I thought you guys were saying it was accurate. I thought there's like plenty of errors as far as the feeling.
Really?
Real. Yeah.
Well,
I haven't watched it. I'm just listening.
Honestly, you grew up in a different era of it than I did.
Yeah.
It pulled a lot from 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Televangelism and prosperity stuff.
Right.
Only modern...
I remember that from the 90s.
The only modern stuff was the Joel Osteen Auditorium and the Stephen Furtick kind of references with the younger brother.
Which I don't know that.
The old school kind of brother so-and-so type of thing. That was definitely more of an 80s kind of... Kenneth Hagin kind of thing, but
I just felt like they were a little bit from all the different eras, and it didn't feel true to any of them.
No, I know, but that's what I liked about it is that it pulled accurately from all of them and put it in this one big old jambalaya.
See, I wish they had picked one and just stuck with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, I liked the second one. It was ridiculous, and I loved it.
Yeah. I've only seen the pilot, so now I need to. I'll watch episode 2, and I'll weigh next week, and I'll settle this one. Assuming we're all here. Assuming,
I mean, it might just be you. Huck, I mean, next week could just be you rambling on about episode 2 of the Righteous Gemstones for longer than the length of the actual episode.
It could just be you practicing monologues, Jesse.
That's right. I've seen the cage you put Pinkman in. North, south, east, west. I don't know. He could be anywhere. But I'll tell you something, Johnny Law. The last thing I'll do is help you find Jesse. And scene. Do I got the part? Is the role mine?
All right, coming in number 1 this week on the hot list, Lauren Daigle, our friend, ministered to women at a state prison in Ohio. And the video is awesome. Earlier this summer, she visited the Ohio Reformatory for Women for a special performance. But while she was at the state prison, she also encouraged the inmates, telling them how much God loved them and how much he had planned for them. It's the 5th time Lauren's visited a prison to minister to inmates. Here's a clip from this visit.
But the one thing that we can always do is look up. You can look up and see the sky. You can look up and see the kindness of God and his extravagant love for each one of you. And I know sometimes that can be hard to wrap your mind around, but let me tell you something. He doesn't see you by your faults or maybe the things that you've done or the things that have trapped you and ensnared you, but he sees you as children, as his own, beloved from the Most High King. That's who you are.
All right, well, there you go. For the full clip and all that stuff, go check out relevantmagazine.com. Stay tuned. Up next, Bob Goff joins us.
You could have told me when you met me, all of your love was gone. You could have told me when you left me, it wasn't all my fault. Yeah, last night on the phone, before you let me go, you could have told me when you met me, all of your love was gone.
You're listening to Your Smith. The song is You Could Have Told Me. Bob Goff is a best-selling author, podcast host now, activist, former lawyer, and the founder of the Dream Big Framework workshops, whose mission is to equip people to achieve their dreams, overcome obstacles, and change the world. I got the chance to talk to Bob this week about the workshops, his podcast, and I lobbed him a bunch of your questions. You don't want to miss a minute of this conversation. It's great. Here is Bob Goff. So Bob, tell us about the Dream Big stuff you're doing now. You're doing these gatherings. You launched a podcast this year. Tell me the heart behind it of wanting to help people kind of chase their dreams and find their calling.
Yeah, part of the shift for me has been trying to get people thinking about what's this ambition that they've had, whatever it was, something that you've wanted to do for 10 years or 20 years or 10 days, but something that's really worth your effort, but you've just never gotten to. So we've been doing for the last couple of years these Dream Big Framework gatherings, and we've done them everywhere from Southern California to Southern Afghanistan. Wow. And we get people together, leaders, people that are just trying to figure it out, whether they're working at home or working outside the home. It's been a really good time. And what we really do is just try to identify what's the ambition. Where's there an opportunity to go after it? How do you take action? And then I think most importantly, for people to not be surprised when there are a couple setbacks along the way, because I think that's what happens to people. We run up against this big, beautiful ambition we have. We hit a setback, and then somehow people start saying, God closed the door. I'm like, oh, heck no. Some guy named Billy just said no. And that doesn't mean God closed the door. That means Billy said no. So those are some of the things that we do. And it's really been rewarding. I think I like getting together in a room with 40 or 50 people rather than an arena these days a little bit more.
How you're known as the guy, the people who've read your books, you're known as a successful businessman who has this unexpected side of kind of intentional whimsy and loving people unconditionally and intentionally. It's an interesting now third lane now that you're helping people like tangibly chase their dreams. What motivated you to kind of make this a primary focus of your message?
Man, I've known you for a really long time, and I think that there's a lot of people that know you at one level. There's the surface. There's Cameron that everybody's just kind of familiar with. And I think people know me as like Bob. He's the happy guy that does things. But like you, there's other layers underneath that. And I think I want to connect with people at those layers to say, let's go do that thing. I don't want you to just leave all fired up. Like, let's just make the call. I've got a phone. You've got a phone. Let's get somebody on the line and make this thing happen. And so I think that's what's changed for me a little bit is that just want to go a little bit deeper with fewer people and really get after some of these things that people want to achieve. And I think that is just creating all kinds of wind at my back for my own thing. The lodge burned down. And you know what's great, Cameron? We just got a final inspection. We rebuilt it. It's done. The lawn is planted. Come on back up. So that would be an example of a setback. I don't think like God was mad at me. I think some people screwed up. They made a mistake and it burned down. And so then what we get to do is get busy again. And I think that's what I want people to do. Just get busy. Let's go build that rocket ship that was supposed to be your life.
And for you, this is almost like, this probably will be a major part of your legacy. I mean, like the things that will be birthed out of this, intentionality that you have, helping people chase their dreams, kind of what's going to happen through them. I think that's an amazing kind of new season for you.
The crazy part, we're just finalizing it, but we're actually buying a camp in Southern California, me and another friend, and we're just going to be doing this. It's on 150 acres, and we're just going to bring people and say, let's go dream some dreams, sort out some stuff that's hanging you up in your life, and let's go make some moves. And I think there's something about that that's beautiful. I think that resonates whatever our life experience is, wherever you're at in your faith adventure, to just pause figure out who am I, where am I, and what do I want? And if we could answer each of these things, I think for your listeners, like who am I? Not who everybody else thinks you are, but who am I? And then where am I? Like, not like, I'm sitting here on my back porch, but like, where am I in my life? And then what do I want? And I think that's the question that Jesus was always asking people, whether they were blind guys standing at the gates or not. Like, what do you want? Really, really want?
So many of us like think about that, you have that dream, like, well, one day, but we don't do that intentionality of like, okay, where do you want to, what do you see in like 5 or 10 years? Where do you want to be? Well, then what are you doing today to get there? I mean, it isn't just going to magically happen. It's one foot in front of the other. Some people don't take that practical, saying like, well, I can chip away at it, crawl, walk, run, and be intentional. But that's something that you've done, and it's an amazing example and challenge the rest of us, Well, the Dream Big framework, everybody should go check it out. It's you can find it at dreambigframework.com. And you have a new podcast. You are a podcaster now. Who
knew?
Do you like it? Have you had fun doing the new podcast?
I actually have. I'm kind of old school, so I haven't. That wasn't the way that I grew up. But I've been having so much fun just calling, friends and saying, "What are you learning?" Because I'm learning too. So it's actually been a really, really fun thing. And so we've asked some of the questions we've talked about just now, and to say, well, so when the wheels came off, tell me about that. I don't want to find out when it was like awesome. But to say when the wheels started shaking a little bit, who were the 3 friends that you could really count on, even if you hadn't spoken to them in a while? What's something that somebody said that meant a lot to you? Like somebody that wasn't trying to fix you, but just trying to be with you. And I've loved those conversations, and I've actually learned a ton having them.
I'll tell you, when I went through the hardest thing I've ever gone through 5 years ago, when I went through a divorce, one of the 3 people that impacted me the most in that season was you. That was the year that I met you, and you did and said things that have permanently changed my life. And I'm very grateful for your friendship.
Man, well, I'll receive that, but it's been so beautiful for all of us. I think you've and I've met quite a few times, and I think we hold up mirrors to one another and we say, let me just tell you, Cameron, what I see in you. And it's not blowing sunshine at each other, but just say, let me tell you about the man that I see in you and the man I see you becoming. And it isn't mystical. It might be prophetic, but it doesn't feel that way. I think it's just actually saying, I see these attributes in you, and the way that you give away love and encourage people. You could be doing a lot of things, but you're doing what you're doing right now. And I think the reason that you're doing it isn't just a day job. I think you know who you are, where you are. I think you know what you want. I think you want to encourage people. And so if we could continue to do that, just instead of holding up all of our opinions about everybody, be just keen on reminding each other about these beautiful things that we each bring. And it isn't just a bunch of fluff. It's actually what I think God made for us to do, to be taking a genuine interest in one another out of Philippians. I think that's it.
Okay, so shifting gears a little bit in the last couple minutes we have, right before we got on, I tweeted out that I was going to be talking to you, and you are one of the favorite guests we've ever had on the Relevant Podcast, and I knew that our listeners would be excited, and I said, okay, if you had a chance to ask Bob anything, what would you ask him? And I have a couple of completely unrelated questions to ask you now from our listeners.
Fire away.
Okay, so Benjamin wants to know, what are some of the practical ways you unplug and quiet the noise of life?
Oh, that's a great question, Benjamin. Way to go. I'm a guy that writes things down just constantly, as you know. I've written down everything I think about everything. And so I find a lot of both peace and perspective in taking a thought, riffing on it a little bit, doing what Paul said, check it against Scripture, but then send out a tweet, send out something. I don't put Bible verses on them, nor do I in my books, but I want to make sure what I'm saying is actually true. And so one of the things that I find really peace-giving and perspective-giving is to just say, what's a simpler way to say that? Lose all the retread words that people have used. What's the simplest way I could express and better understand a complicated idea? So sounds like a funny way. Some people fly kites or RC planes. I just try to say, like, what's an easier way to say that?
Okay, Katie asks, if your kids were teenagers today, what would your phone policies for them be? That's interesting.
Oh, that's a great question. I think I wouldn't try to manipulate their conduct. I think I'd ask them, why are you doing what you're doing? Like, so what's been really helpful to you? What hasn't been? So I would ask, instead of laying down the rules as if I was coming down with a stone tablet under each arm, what I would do is to say, hey, what's working for you in this? And what do you find to be distracting? So I think that's the way that I respond. If somebody tells me what I want or what I ought to do, I don't want to do it anymore. And I don't want it anymore. I don't know. I don't think that's just me being rebellious. I just think people don't want to be told what to do. But if somebody takes a genuine interest in you, say, hey, what's working for you? What isn't working for you? That actually is the thing we used to have. They're called conversations with your teenagers. And those actually will shape you.
Wow, that's really good advice. There were several versions of this question, but essentially, a lot of people want to know, how do you avoid becoming cynical, especially in the divisive climate that we're in and the so much suffering in the world and all the stuff that's going on? How do you avoid becoming cynical?
Yeah, great questions. And I think it's something that we're all like sorting out. The short answer is this. I just make this assumption unknowingly that God is doing the same thing in everybody else's life that he happens to be doing in my life right now. And I've just reminding myself constantly that that actually is not the case. And evidence of that is everything I'm reading and hearing. And so instead of reacting and just ricocheting off everybody, I've just take so much confidence in knowing a couple of things. Number one, you don't have to swing at every pitch just because somebody has this thing in mind. That's the most important thing for them. Well, that's terrific. It just isn't the most important thing for me. So I don't need to make them feel small because they have a different thing that's most important. I just want to say that's different. I'm thinking about these girls in Mogadishu, Somalia. We're trying to help out. That's not a more honorable or noble thing. It's just a different thing. The second thing is this idea of patience. And we've talked about this before. I'm the guy that keeps throwing everything in the microwave and Jesus keeps putting it in the crock pot. And so what I've learned, next time you come up to Lodge, you're going to find a farm because I've built one. And it takes 20 days to make a radish, but it takes 7 years to make a pear. Isn't that crazy? You know how long it takes to make an avocado? 14 years. What? So I keep thinking, like, when somebody is like way out there in a different place, I just need to be patient and know that God's not growing radishes. I mean, he's making guacamole in their life. And I need to just chill out knowing that he's up to something different in their life. So I don't need to ricochet off of it at the time. And that's been super helpful when people have been kind of animated about whatever's the biggest thing to them. It just isn't the biggest thing to me right now, but it sounds like an important thing. That's terrific. And I can see God making guacamole out of it.
Wow. All right. And last question. Ann Lee asks, what would Bob tell his 20-year-old self knowing what he knows now? So what would you say to 20-year-old Bob knowing what you know now?
Oh, yeah. I would say two things. Number one, I would say, buddy, it's going to work. It may not work out the way you were thinking it's going to work, but it'll actually work. Like, so do that. And I would tell that 20-year-old, get your hot air balloon license earlier. Like, don't wait till you're 60. Start learning how to fly it right now. And I would say the same thing to you, Cameron. Wow. Literally, have you started training on a hot air balloon yet?
No, I have not.
If you haven't, put that on your list.
All right.
I'm like 4 lessons away. So what I want to do is I would encourage that 20-year-old to engage his passions. Don't be afraid. Like, fear's a punk. And I would just say, punch that thing in the nose, get back at it, and don't be like taken off the scent so easily. But I would also encourage that guy like to do some really fun, winsome things, meaningful, purposeful things, but fun and winsome things as well.
Wow. Well, thanks for your time, Bob. It's been so fun catching up. Everybody, go check out the Dream Big Framework at dreambigframework.com, and you can find out everything else that Bob's up to at bobgoff.com. Bob, thank you so much.
Thanks a million, Cameron.
Awesome. It was fun. That was Bob Goff. Stay tuned up next. Oh, boy. It's Ask the Cast.
I'm scared to know, but I need to know.
Our time at university is almost always a pivoting point, for better or worse. Some people go into college seemingly strong in their faith and walk away burnt out and disillusioned, while others come in with spiritual doubts and apathy towards Christ and walk away as passionate Christian leaders. So what makes the difference? In his new book, Walking with Jesus on Campus, Chaplain Stephen Kello explores 10 make-or-break issues like doubt and depression, sexuality and singleness, the Sabbath, and perfectionism. So whether you're headed off to college, ministering to college students, or the parent of a college-aged kid, order yourself a copy of Walking with Jesus on Campus at your favorite book retailer to help you better understand how to tackle what lies ahead.
You're listening to Pine Grove. The song is Moment. Okay, it's time for...
If you got something you want to know, now's the time to ask. It's Ask the Cast.
Oh, that's soothing. I like it. It's time.
It's
a great way to go out if this is our last one.
Yeah, that sounds autumnal.
Reminds me of like Boney Bear and More Love, More Power. It's very strange. I like the influences. So it's time for Ask the Cast. You guys hit us up on Twitter every week at Relevant Podcast, and you ask questions of the crew here, and I will go through them and lob a few of them today. All right. William asked, or he says, I make maps for a living. But
that's his whole job.
Yeah, I don't think you have to laugh at his job.
Who does that? Who gets to do that anymore? Does he mean he drives a Google car around and gets us the Google Maps?
I haven't. Maybe he works for Google. I make maps for a living, but am terrible giving directions. Any advice?
I do have a question about the maps he's making. I mean,
I do too. I have more questions for him than he has for us.
Because I didn't know maps were things that were made anymore.
What is it mapped?
I'm picturing like
most of the world. I think
I'm picturing like a nautical map with like two big scrolls that you just like undo, and that's where you find
there's like a dragon in the ocean sometimes or something.
And yeah, exactly. You have to like avert the sea monster and make it to the island, and then find the buried treasure. I'm curious about the map.
Yeah, does he do? Maybe he does like artistic renderings of places. Like that's the kind of mapping he does, maps. And that's why he doesn't know how to do directions.
And that's just like being a cover artist.
All right, listen. Here's the for real though. I can relate to William's struggle because I too am terrible. I'm terrible at giving directions. I'm terrible at knowing where I have a horrible sense of direction. It's just not one of my giftings. I'm sorry. I know it's surprising for a lot of people, but. When like the worst is when you're using like the navigation and you're not in a car and you're like walking in a city and the dot is moving too slow, like on your phone to see which way you're going. I end up just running around trying to get the dot to move faster to figure out which way I'm even supposed to be going. It's very frustrating. That's why, William, I'll tell you, the secret is high ground. Find high ground. Climb fire escapes. Jump in the air. Climb trees. It's the only way you can actually tell where you're supposed to be going. Like you just have to get up high, look around. Now it's gonna involve trespassing. And William, you just have to be comfortable with that because most of it is going into buildings where you don't belong and just getting a high vantage point and then trying to figure out how to get there. That's a whole nother thing.
All right. Scott Corin asked, his Twitter name is @ScottCorin, Korin. He said, why do y'all bully Annie all the time?
Oh, Scott.
Who's
I don't think
y'all?
I get bullied.
Annie,
thank you for saying that,
bully?
Annie. I wanted Annie to answer this question because that is not the vibe here, is it?
No, I don't think. And here's what people don't know. I do appreciate when people feel like that. Part of the time is I sit back because I don't get in the middle of y'all's stupid stuff. So that's part one. Sometimes I'm not being bullied. I'm just being quiet. Also, whenever there is a moment, this is a serious answer. Whenever there is a moment that something feels unfairly handled between any of us, we all just talk about it. And that usually doesn't go in the show. So what goes in the show is what we're all great with going in the show. And we all genuinely love each other and know about each other's real lives and care for each other's real lives and our podcast lives. And I am a strong woman who does not get bullied by 3 men on a podcast. And so 4 men, sorry,
bully
Jesse.
is a very strong word.
If anything, Annie has bullied me several times. We've cut it.
I'm trying.
She has brought me to tears.
Really trying.
She said,
it is. I mean, I do think it's something to listen to. It's something when we get those comments, I always go back and listen to those shows and think, what did I do as the person who they feel like is being bullied? What conversation led them to feel that way? Because we don't want anyone to feel like men or women are not treated well on this show.
Ever.
Yeah.
If anything, there's a brother-sister teasing dynamic.
100%.
But that's not... The other word is a very...
Did you say no, Jesse?
I said, well, Annie can get hurtful. One time she was like,
that's when we have to stop the show is when
you're
I get
a mediocre
harassed.
podcaster, but you are a terrible, terrible actor. Annie, you didn't have to say terrible. You didn't say I had 2 terribles. I'm still workshopping the monologue.
Terrible.
It's a difficult accent.
You didn't have to have
Skinny
2
Pete has
terribles.
been through a lot, Annie, and I'm sorry when I get into character, my emotions get hot too. His friends on the
I do
lam,
think it's
Annie.
sweet that people care. I really love that. It means a lot to me.
I think there is, like, I don't want to be blind or naive about the fact that anytime there are more men than there are women in a room, the masculine energy can kind of turn into a runaway freight train. I've been part of those conversations and seen that happen. But I do want to say that we do like deal with that stuff off the pod. And Annie, you've been very like forthright and honest about how you're feeling in a way that I think is like super admirable and really inspiring. And I've learned a lot just by watching your example, both here on the podcast and in IRL. So I think that I hope that, you know, we never want to be like, it's not like we're not accountable to what people hear or perceive. Like that's a real thing. But I also think it's just super cool how well you have handled these dynamics. And I really appreciate that. And I hope that I'm not the only one. I hope other people see that too.
Yeah. So thanks for mansplaining that to us, Huckabee. I'm just joking. Just joking.
Oh,
I kid.
I was like, what a tender moment. And then Jesse had to ruin it. All right.
I ruin tender moments. That's my thing. That's my love language. Is
Robbie S.
Bully.
His Twitter name is official Robbie. That's really funny. But he's not official anything. It's just official.
Well, he is officially Robbie.
He's the Robbie.
True.
I'm
Robbie S.
officially Annie.
Robbie S. Says, the president of the company I work at just asked me, are you getting after it? And I responded, you know it, because I was too ashamed to ask what it is. What is it? And how do I get after it? That's his question.
If you have to ask what it is and how you're getting after it, I got a bad news for you, Robbie. You never had it and you never will. I feel like that's cold, but yeah, I mean,
it's the last episode.
This is
harsh truths.
This is painful, but yeah, it's out of reach for you, I'm afraid.
Jesse, I'm going to take the opposite track here a little bit. I admire Robbie's. He just said yes, and that takes a lot of gumption.
Yeah.
That really takes a kind of a brassiness that I admire. I wish there was more of out there. Just the assumption that I probably am, and if I'm not, it definitely behooves my boss to think that I am. And so I commend you. I don't have the answer for you, Robbie, but I think the fact that you're willing to lie about it, bold-faced to your boss's face, shows that you've got a high ceiling at the company.
Okay, but
you're at
also
right
if
now.
someone looks at you and says, getting after it, or you got it, you're going to say yes, because you're like, I mean, you think I am.
I'm not going to say no.
So, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. So
The
I kind
yes
of
was
respect
definitely
Robbie just being a
implied.
yes man
Yeah.
in
Oh,
this
yeah.
situation. He's official. He's got to be getting after it. He's official Robbie.
You're fine, Robbie. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, Robbie.
You're getting after it.
Okay, a couple more. Braxton Nutt says, since Cameron had the first connection with Jesse, my question is, when Cameron met Jesse, did he lead off a rant about Big Floss and cheesecake, or did he wait to reveal his genius? Oh.
I've been slowly unveiling the genius every single day, Braxton.
We knew when we met Jesse that he was special.
Yeah. when you bailed me out of jail that fateful evening.
I did have to bail an employee out of jail around that era, but it wasn't you.
I remember. Yeah, I was roommates with him at the time.
but I would say we didn't know the full spectrum of the Jesse that we now know for a year or two. I think it was when Adam Smith was around that it kind of started to fully emerge.
Yeah, he brought something out of you, huh, Jesse?
Yeah.
Adam Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were kindred spirits in the same sense of humor. And yeah, I think that was like a permission to be super weird in this job. So thank you, Adam.
When I used to listen to the show, I would think, man, Adam and Jesse are the same weird back when, a decade ago when you are both on the show. I loved it.
All right, I'm going to ask one more because I'm going to give Chandler options to cut the duds. Okay, so here's one last question.
Listen, he may not have heard all the wisdom we just dispelled.
Type 5. He's a type 5. He's a stickler. Chandler, with his editing. So here's one more option. Abby Banfield said, "Tell us your scar story. Where's the scar and how'd you get it? Everybody has a scar story."
Uh-huh. Mine is above my right eyebrow. I was in kindergarten and there was like a legitimate arrowhead shaped rock.
Yeah.
And I was being chased and I fell and it went right into my head.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Maybe it was a real, what if it was a real arrow? That's been,
that'd have been cooler. It's right above my eyebrow right there. And we had to go straight to the emergency room and my mom passed out.
Oh, wow.
Because I was bleeding so much.
Thanks a lot, Mom.
Yeah. I have one that's not very exciting. That is right here on my face. It's very tiny because they didn't put stitches in it because I was a little kid. I was wrestling like Hulkamania style. It was back when Hulk Hogan was a very cool wrestler, and I did a move and slammed my head on a coffee table. And so that's always bad. And I got some on my elbow from biffing it pretty hard on a skateboard many times and falling on the same arm. But neither of those are that exciting. I wish I had something cool like an arrowhead. It'd be cooler if you got shot with an arrow, but it was like an old timey arrow, like one that, had been fashioned hundreds of years ago. That's pretty cool.
Not like Katniss Everdeen in Hunger Games, but more like old timey, like pilgrims.
Honestly, if anyone, it doesn't really matter the age of the arrow. Someone's like, yeah, check out this cool scar on my forearm. I got shot with an arrow. It's like, okay, if you're in a situation where you can get shot with an arrow, it's one of two things. You're at the wrong part of the archery range. Like you go in the back door of the archery range, or you are in like the most dangerous game situation. You are being hunted by psychotic billionaires who are using bow and arrows. Either one is a fantastic story to tell later.
Andy, this is interesting because I also have my scars above my right eyebrow. But a different situation. This was in college. This was much later. And I was sitting in my dorm room and I heard the dorm next door to me, somebody shouted, "There's a new Strong Bad email." And I was so excited that I jumped out of my chair. I ran around. I tried to spin around into his room, got my finger caught in the door, fell, and banged my head right into the door. I was too excited about the new Homestar Runner content and had to go to the emergency room.
That might be the nerdiest scar story.
Oh, it's
terrible. I love it. No, I love it.
That's one.
Way better.
That's one where you tell people you get shot with an arrow.
Yeah. You switch that up pretty quick.
So anyway, these billionaires tied me up and dropped me on this secluded island, and they hunted me for days. And anyway, I only got shot in the face with an arrow and made it out alive. So what's your scar story?
I have one on my finger. It's a V. It's a V right there on my pointer finger. And it was from, I was whittling, I had bamboo in the forest. I was thick in the forest. I've got to cut down a piece of bamboo with a machete. And I was cutting off the shoots to turn into like a stick or a fishing pole or a switch or something. And the thing gave way and the machete went straight into my finger. And
my gosh.
Into the bone. And I would get in trouble for playing with the machete. So I never told anybody. So I have a scar and I have dots on the back of my head. So when I get my hair cut, little holes reveal themselves where I stabbed myself in the head with really, really sharp pencils and had to go to the hospital for those. So,
oh man,
4th grade.
Scary
all right.
moment.
Well, thanks for everybody who sent in questions. Sorry for all the ones that Chandler edited out. So. Yeah.
Every question y'all sent in, we answered. Chandler decided which ones you get to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, many thanks to Bob Goff for joining us. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at Bob Goff and on Instagram. And make sure to check out his new podcast. It's called Dream Big, and it's out now.
And your girl Annie F was on it
last week, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
It was very fun. So you can go like listen to a friend and a friend.
I haven't heard that episode yet because I was like, I hear a lot of Annie.
Yeah, for real. That's the truth.
Listen,
that is all right.
In the likely scenario, we don't have a podcast next week. Yeah. And my monologue has been taken offline because so many people in Hollywood are interested in owning it exclusively. Then download the episode of Dream Big with Bob Goff and Annie F. Downs to hold you over until Friday.
You know what is funny about that, Cameron, about how much you hear? I did say to someone the other day, I was like, I legitimately talk to Cameron and Jesse and Tyler and Eddie more than I talk to my parents because we talk for 4 hours a week. I don't talk to anybody as much as I talk to y'all.
Maybe like your assistant. That's it. That's literally
it's literally maybe somebody from work, and that's it. Other than that,
and the assistant is mostly shouting about how she got the coffee wrong again.
That's exactly right.
it's not really a.
Let me ask you something. Does that mist that I sprayed in your face taste like light pumpkin spice to you or regular pumpkin spice? Take it back.
Yeah, it's not really a conversation with the assistant. It's more of a monologue.
Shouting. It's shouting. Yeah.
All right. Hey, make sure to check out the new episode of Unedited. It's out now. Our friend Propaganda joined me this week for a really, really good conversation. Go check it out wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like this show, head over to Apple Podcasts and leave it a review and give it a rating, and it helps more people discover it. Oh, and Relevant Daily, intersection of faith and culture, 10 minutes a day. It's out now. It's growing. It's a lot of fun. Tyler doing a great job with Relevant Daily. Everybody go check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Relevant Daily. Okay.
Best podcast we do.
Shut up.
Everybody says the critics agree.
That one review said that, and it's gone to your head. And it was written by your mom. And
thanks, Mom. Per my request, I dictated the whole thing.
All right. On that note, we'll wrap things up. If I never see y'all again, it was nice. Man. It was fun.
This is horrible.
Pray for...
Your gallows humor is the worst.
We're just going to be hanging out watching Netflix. It's not that big of a deal. And if power goes out, we'll play board games. It's all right. We're going to be fine, people.
We'll see y'all next Friday if we don't see you Tuesday.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Annie F. Downs.
Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Fingers crossed.
I hate it much, but it's yours. I love this. I hate it much, but it's yours.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
No, I was almost done. And scene. Okay, did I get the part?
Relevant Podcast Network.